Now on Denver 7 News at 7 a.m. on Local 3, bold moves from the Biden administration clearing the criminal records of thousands of people overnight. What this will mean for some Colorado businesses.
If you're filling up on the way to work this morning, just brace yourself for sticker shock. Why gas prices are jumping again, and they won't be dropping anytime soon.
And Broncos country, we know what you're feeling like this morning. Yeah, from the fan reactions, we have a breakdown of what went wrong leading to that loss against the Colts. Yeah, a couple interceptions there, but let's turn to the good news.
Right, yeah, Avs have their home opener next week, and Denver is suddenly hockey capital USA. We have a look at a new feature downtown to help celebrate all the hockey championships that our team won last season, and at least it'll take our mind off football.
Yeah, woo hockey, yeah.
Yes. And good Friday morning to you. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. It is a weekend almost here, and the fog is lifting a little bit as we were looking at our downtown skyline. We saw it very thick earlier. Lisa, is it starting to lift?
I feel as if the weather is kind of matching our feelings, right? It was sunny and gorgeous. We were all happy and excited for the game last night, and now,
Yeah.
a little gloomy. It is. It's going to mix out a little bit here. We should see a little bit of sunshine by early afternoon, but expect to see a cool, foggy start, even a little wet weather out there, some drizzle for the morning drive. For your kids, it's going to be low 40s this morning. They're definitely going to want an extra layer today. Sweatshirt, probably pants instead of shorts. It's chilly out there this morning. We're at 38 degrees out at the airport, and you can see here from this shot, and again, still pretty gloomy. Gray skies this morning. This afternoon, we're going to be likely by noon close to 50 and then hitting highs here in the mid to upper 50s. You'll notice on Futurecast where some of this fog up against the foothills will start to clear out a little bit here by early afternoon. We may see a few spotty showers. We'll talk more about that and what to expect for the full weekend, Jason, coming up.
Just calling out a crash right around 225 in Parker. Had one down by Yosemite on the southbound side. They're saying this one's northbound right at Parker Road. I haven't seen any significant delays on the map yet. I'll take a look at that more in just a little bit. All right, so this is I-70 right there at Genesee. All we can see is the pole. Sometimes you might see some red, which are the taillights of the drivers going through this fog. You just can't see where you're going, but by the time you get a little bit higher in elevation, a little bit farther west, it really does clear up. Take a look at the drive up here to the north side, southbound I-25. Had an earlier crash right here by the Thornton Parkway. All lanes are open, but still, as you can see on the drive times, a couple extra minutes there right now. I-76 is a little busy, so is 270 and I-70 out to the east side. We've had this power outage over in Montbello. I really think it is affecting the traffic lights at Maxwell and Chambers for you. And then 225, I'll check into that crash that just called out at Parker Road.
Well, the Broncos lost to the worst team in football at Empower Field last night. So what does that make them?
Yeah,
There's no way to sugarcoat this one.
Yeah, remember when the over-under was 42 points? Neither team scored a touchdown.
How did we ever
21
get to that?
total points. That is just the tip of the iceberg for the problems with the Broncos offense. Here's our Broncos insider, Troy Rink.
There is no way to put a positive spin on this. The Broncos fall to 2-3 in an absolute brutal loss to the Colts, and this one was on Russell Wilson. He made two inexplicable throws, interceptions, especially the last one in regulation, that essentially jeopardized the outcome, and the Broncos lose in overtime. They're saying all the right things, that they're going to stick together, but at this point, they got to prove it. They've got to figure out a way to get better offensively and play complementary football.
There were a lot of opportunities out there, and I think that's the frustrating thing for all of us. It's not me, it's not just the players, but there are opportunities to be able to have big plays or conversions, and we just got to be better. I mean, the guys need to continually develop.
I'm always going to choose and understand that adversity is just temporary. You're going to overcome obstacles and battles. We're all working together. We're all still together, focused on trying to do whatever it takes. And it starts with me. I'll make sure that I do that.
No, it's frustrating for sure, just to lose in general. We believe in the offense. As a defense, you can't worry about too much. You just got to do your job, and that's pretty much it. But it's always frustrating to lose.
The last Broncos team to start a season 2-3 and reach the playoffs, that was Peyton Manning's first season in 2012. But let's be honest, you can't even think about playoffs until this team starts showing they can beat even bad teams. There is some good news. Justin Simmons told me he should be able to return from his injury and play against the Chargers, but it does not look like we will see Josie Jewell and Garrett Bowles. Reporting from the stadium, Troy Rink, Denver 7.
Well, we know you had plenty of thoughts on the performance last night. We know that because we've been getting hundreds of calls into our Broncos hotline. Here are just a few.
Thanks for calling our Denver 7 Broncos voicemail hotline. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Hey, wake me up when the offense scores a touchdown. I'm going to go back to bed.
This game is a snooze fest, an embarrassment.
Broncos had their big chance. They're on prime time already a couple times, and it's just been pathetic.
I think the offense needs to get their heads together, and Wilson needs to start going right.
If you want to weigh in and give us your opinion on the Broncos' performance, our hotline is always open. That phone number on your screen there, 303-832-0111.
Well, we may not be feeling too good about how the Broncos are doing on the field, but they are doing great stuff off the field. The Broncos are one of the most charitable, giving teams in all of sports. Broncos players volunteer their time in the community. They also donate money. And the Broncos have given 6 local groups $35,000 each this year from the team's Social Justice Fund. One of the recipients was Raw Tools, a group that hosts gun buyback programs. They disable donated weapons and turn them into garden tools.
I mean, I'm a Broncos fan since I was 7 when we moved here, so it's been a fun interaction with the team and being able to partner with them. It's been a great experience, and they supported and hosted the very first one at the stadium parking lot, and they also supported another one in Aurora. So it's been great to have them from the very beginning of these 8 buybacks in the planning process.
Yeah, Raw Tools collected more than 700 guns this year. There are 2 more gun buybacks this month in Aurora and Longmont.
Well, if you want to feel better about the Broncos, we can talk about the CU Buffs. My poor Buffs here, my alma mater. The situation is pretty dire. The team winless this season so far, and after 2 losing seasons, the coach, Carl Durrell, was fired over the weekend. He will still get the remainder of his salary, though, about $8 million. And payouts like that aren't out of line for the industry. Last year, take a look here, 21 college coaches resigned or were fired due to poor team performance, and they were paid out a total of $63.2 million. A lawyer who advises coaches and schools as they write up their contracts says these buyout clauses are like an insurance policy for both sides.
From a coach's perspective, it's not just the salary. All right, so the coach gets fired. What happens? Well, the coach's reputation is now severely diminished. They may have to move again.
Attorney Bill Rober told us he expects college contracts and buyouts to grow even more in the next few years, especially as more NFL teams look to poach NCAA coaches.
Well, despite football being a sore spot for Colorado sports fans right now, there is hope out there. The Avs open the hockey season next week to defend their Stanley Cup win. The city of Denver's new nickname has become Hockey Capital USA. The city unveiled a giant hockey puck at Union Station to celebrate the city's 4 hockey titles from last year. The Avs, DU, winning the National Collegiate Championship, Denver East High School Championship, and the Pee Wee Junior Avs all won titles. You can take your picture with the giant puck through Thursday, October 20th.
A historic move by President Biden announcing he will pardon people convicted of marijuana possession at the federal level, and he's encouraging state governors to do the same.
Yeah, Denver 7's Jessica Crawford joins us live this morning with how this will impact Colorado, which has already kind of led the charge to clear criminal records of some marijuana convictions.
Yeah, the impact to Colorado really could be over the long term, because the issue here is that marijuana is federally illegal. So what the president did in pardoning so many cases is he also took it a step further and spoke with the Department of Health and Human Services. He also spoke with Attorney General Merrick Garland about changing marijuana's schedule as far as it being listed as a Schedule 1 drug. So currently, weed is considered a Schedule 1 drug, meaning that by federal law, it's considered considered to have no currently acceptable medical use and a high potential for abuse, and here's why that matters. A drug schedule sets the groundwork for the federal regulation of that controlled substance. So Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 drugs face the strictest regulations. Schedule 1 drugs are effectively illegal for anything outside of research. Schedule 2 drugs can be used for limited medical purposes. Currently, scheduling leaves some marijuana users open to federal prosecution, even if it is legal in your state, like it is here in Colorado. The president also acknowledged that many people's lives have been made more difficult by federal marijuana laws, saying in part that criminal records for weed have led to barriers to employment, to housing, and to educational opportunities, plus that people of color often face the harshest consequences. We spoke with Wanda James, the first Black woman to own a legally licensed marijuana dispensary in the country.
We can't lose focus on the fact that even though we have all of these states that have legalized, 18 states have legalized, 38 states with medical marijuana laws on the books, there are still states in the United States where you will get felony possession, or you'll get felony charges for simple possession. And we have to remember that time and time and time again, how many Black and brown people's lives have been destroyed over this. So while this is great for business, great for commerce, great for creating generational wealth, it is imperative that we recognize the human toll that the drug war has taken on American citizens over the last 100 years.
And the president also encouraged governors to pardon simple marijuana charges. That's actually something that Governor Jared Polis did back in 2020 and in 2021. Live in Denver, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
Well, recreational marijuana legal in 19 states now, Jessica, so things are already changing. Thank you. Colorado is getting more than $3 million from FEMA for Marshall Fire recovery. Half of it will go to fire suppression activities, including firefighter ground and air support. The other half will go to the state's Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management for managing the firefight and recovery efforts from the Marshall Fire.
Well, some brick and mortar stores are not hiring as much for the holiday season. That is not the case for Amazon, though. How many employees they say they need to get you your gifts on time?
And if you're looking for maybe a scary getaway for the holiday season, look no further. The latest Airbnb grabbing the attention of pretend jailbirds.